the MTN on the Enugu-Onitsha dual carriageway rehabilitation and reconstruction, under the tax credit scheme that we inherited from the past administration. I understand that the commencement of the contract was on 19th of December 2022. And so the contract has been about 3 years or thereabouts old. The total length of the roads supposed to be 107 kilometers by 2. And the flyover. The MTN had engaged the subcontractors, 2 subcontractors, RCC and Nigercat. The first time I supervised that project, I discovered that the Nigercat section where we have binder course had failed. And I directed that the binder course must be scarified and repeated. And I agree it was inherited. I want to believe that has been done. Because of this discussion, the director Southeast should be telling us. Let me express my disappointment on the slow pace of work on that project. It's one of the worst roads in this country. Even where we have diverting from the one that RCC and Nigercat had completed, the contractors are not kind enough to even put stone base on the diversion points. So, by the reason of the launching of Operation Retake Our Roads, it is now an offense with severe punishment for the controllers and directors where we have vehicles falling on any project that is ongoing, or where we have situation where there are potholes or boreholes on our roads. 10 days ago, we launched Operation Retake Our Roads, and it is very clear to all the directors and controllers and engineers what is required of them. We have been one in our contracts, we have contingency. I will directed where you issue directive to a contractor and he fails to do it, you should get a subcontractor to get stone base to fill such potholes or boreholes. And there will be no basis for any worker of Minister of Works that fails to adhere to this strictly. And the way contractors refuse to obey this instruction, they will be sanctioned. And this is very important. Now, major decisions shall be taken this afternoon and is going to be on dialogue. Enugu State Government representatives are here. Last Sunday, I inspected that route with the Governor of Enugu State. And we saw the level of suffering at the Abapa section of that road, where RCC had put in by that about 3.5 kilometers of the road, and they blocked it. And so everybody now resorted to using one carriageway that is not even maintained. And so some people stayed there for 5 hours, and that is not acceptable. And I directed that by Tuesday, if the subcontractor fails to put wearing costs and open the road, that Enugu State Government was very free to open the road, to put wearing costs or to open the road. I have continued to say that Nigeria should not be suffering while contractors are doing roads. for our people. It doesn't happen in any other country the way it happens in Nigeria. And so the public must also pay very serious attention that the president's intention is not for them to suffer while trying to help them to fix the roads. So it's their right to insist that contractors should fix the roads that they are engaged on. But most of the time they bring very serious nuisance and hardship and pains to the public, and they don't care. Such must have to stop. And so, major decision we have taken in this ministry, in line with the decision of Federal Executive Council, is that where we have two carriageways, we have to face the execution of the project and its completion. While one carriageway is constantly maintained, the contractor will be paid for the maintenance as will be agreed. If a contractor does any work, additional work, that is not approved through the director of the department to the department secretary to the minister, that contractor will not be paid. I want RCC to hear this and hear it very well. Section 51 says of the standard condition of contract that the engineer, which is the controller or any other one on site, may direct for additional work with the approval of the employer. When you do additional work beyond what is in the contract, you will not be paid unless the controller or the engineer on site has written for approval to the director of the department, the head, and the head escalates it to the department secretary escalates it to the minister, who will look at the merits of such and accordingly approves or disapproves. And it goes down to the department secretary, to the head of the department, back to site. So this idea where contractors on their own, argue that the controller or engineer on site has directed them to, is not acceptable, because you cannot increase the contract sum by so doing. It's not allowed. And RCC has to take very serious note of this, because there's no side that involved that they have not defaulted in this. And so, our major decision this afternoon is that RCC working and the Nigercat working for MTN should concentrate on the completion of one carriageway, totally 107 kilometers. In our dialogue this afternoon, we need to know, out of this 107 kilometers, how much have you completed, how much is left, how long will you complete this? Plus a flyover at Ababa. A flyover was designated at certain location, but we looked at it and we moved it to Ababa. It's more viable to be at Ababa. So it's 107 kilometers plus a flyover at Ababa. That is phase 1 of MTN. MTN is still, committed to the second phase of 107 kilometers. But we will not be taking that second stage to Federal Executive Council. We will indicate that it's phase 2. The contract will still be binding, but it's going to be phase 2. But government is going to intervene by the request of the Enugu State government and the popular demand of the public, where we will take out 20 kilometers from Ababa Junction, and we will take it through the OP Junction, where the governor wants to dualize to Nsukka, and then down to Transekulu Junction, anywhere we get 20 kilometers. And the scope of the work is to mill the asphalt over there, and then put 10 cm of stone base with 3% of cement, prime it, and they put 20 cm of continuous reinforced concrete, grade 40 concrete, using Y20 reinforcement. and that is what the scope is. We may put 2 inches asphalt on it for uniformity, and we mark it, and solar light should come on it. I don't know what phase is the solar light on this project, but if the solar light is part of this phase 1, I will direct MTN to immediately look at the quality and standard of solar light we have in Tom Bridge or Second Niger Bridge. They have become the standard. They should go and look at it and begin to fix the ones they have done. We had a preliminary discussion with the chairman of MTN, and we agreed, like it's our policy, we are not doing VOP. VOP is a fraud, and we are not doing VOP. We are doing a review of the projects based on the approval of Mr. President that we can review. And so, starting from certificate number 12, even though it has been paid for and VOP was removed, to 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, when we review the projects, the new rates will take effective from all those, listed. And our projects are no longer VOPable. We are not paying VOP. So the rates we are reviewing, they are current rates, and are effective, and are sustainable, and it is not to enjoy any VOP or CPI. And so this is the essence of this meeting. And so why isn't the Enugu State government intervening? Because of the slow pace and because of funding issue. The essence of tax credit is for fund to be made available. And so I don't see RCC going to keep to their promise to finish that this thing in 6 months. And I owe you nothing but to speak the truth to you. So my advice to MTN is to look for another contractor within that axis if they want to get the job done. Division of labor is even the best. Why they are doing the roads and Nigercat? If Nigercat is doing a good job, you can give them greater scope to do if you want to finish that job. But if you don't want to finish it, you can go ahead with this snail's pace, where you are working is almost going bad. So it's better to get it finished. And this, as a policy, we are not doing, as phased handover. We are not. You have to finish your job, and then respect it. And if you take 10 years to finish your job, it's your duty to maintain the one that you have done that will be failing. It's not our job. So it's better for a contractor to engage and finish quickly and then run away. This is very important. So my advice is for MTN, get a new contractor that will commit to doing that job in 6 months. And so based on these opening remarks, we can engage and finish as quickly as we can. So you list all the points we have mentioned here. The balance of the 107 kilometer. What is balance? We've agreed on how to review the projects from certificate number 12. And it is the prevailing rates that we're going to give to you. And so there will be no VOP when we review the job. And we should all work very hard to see within 2 weeks that we get these documents down to BPP and see if we can get it from FEC this month.